Okay, so sorry. Yeah, I'm running out of storage space on my phone, so I had to delete some videos, and I'll just merge it with the other one. But okay, so continuing on. Okay, um, right. So the dinosaurs, and they had animals too, which would be like the T Rexes and the long necks, and the Triceratops, and watched Land Before Time, the Petrie, that's okay. So you got like the animals, they're animals, but then they had civilized humanoid, beings like people, but reptilian, like how like how can like look at what's all possible. Anything is possible. The sky's the limit. God is an infinite God of all possibilities. Okay, so well, why don't we have any record of it, any history of it? Well, because they were in control. They they don't want you to know they're there. They can very easily make it seem like they're not there. If you don't want to be known, you don't have to be known if you're here first and in control and in power. Like you can keep it a secret, and that's what they've done. They can't keep it a secret no more. The truth is out. It's out of the bag. Okay, and we're waking up to it, and we're seeing it. Like and on the pyramids, you got there's big huge lizards whipping people. Whipping the slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like the Anunnaki and the reptilians were they're who built the pyramids. They're the author of the pyramids. Okay, and they had people, slaves, work on them, as well. Okay, and so like they're depicted on the freaking, it's right there, and it's right there, and it's been right there the whole time, you know. And so but yeah, so they can't spiritually ascend. So they are like, well then, so they're mad, angry. It's like, so well then how can they, what can they do then? They can get as many people as they can to go dark, to turn dark. Okay, but then if if you can't join them and you can't beat them, okay, so how can I, what can I do? Okay, if you were them, okay, and you got this hate in your heart and this anger because you can't ascend, because you don't want to give up your power and degree and all this that you enjoy the material, you enjoy things in this life that really are vices, that really are actually no good. You enjoy those things. Those are your God. What you serve. Okay, and if you can't let that stuff go, and that's their choice. Okay, so what can they do then to these other beings? Okay, these beings are love and light. They don't care about the stuff that we care about. They don't care about the power, the money, the greed, or whatever. A lot of them don't. So well, we can tell them that they are these horrible beings and that they need a savior to be able to go to heaven. Okay, and we're gonna get them to and this is how we can, and these are the laws they need to follow so they can do the things that we need them to do, so they can make the society, so they can bring money in for us. Okay, so like it's just crazy how it all worked out. Like they took, and there's God. We're very spiritual beings, and they take that, and so well they can't, because people can experience that for themselves and get to know God themselves in a very real way. So they can't lie about that. They obviously they're gonna have, so, but they lie to you about the nature of God, about how it all works and how it operates. That you need to be saved, that you have to have this intercessor for you to be able to for one, get there, and two, have a relationship. You don't need any of that. You don't need the church. You don't need the pastor. You don't need any of this to know God, to know, and to know your spiritual self. Okay, these are things that no one else can tell you or teach you. That these are things you have to learn yourself. Okay, there's not big money in it, in an all loving God that basically your relationship is it's a two-way thing, and then with what you have with other people, because then you realize that God's in each and every one of us, that we each are all God. What you do for, that's right, so what you do for the least of me, you do for me, because you are doing it to basically to Him, right? So so Jesus came to teach us, man, and so what they do is that, so they know that we are going to be able to sin, but they don't want us to. Okay, so that's why they lie to us, because if they can get us to think that we're these evil, sinful beings that are horrible and just got no good in us at all, then we won't be able to ascend. Okay, they can beat us, and they can get it to where we don't get to make it to the next life. Okay, but that's why we gotta wake up and realize that we are good. We are good. We are loving. We are very, very, very compassionate, and that this whole idea of that of us being we're all born into sin. We're all no, you're not born through sin. You're not born because this no, it's not. We've been lied to, man, and so how can he hurt God? How can they hurt God? What can they do to get at God? They can take his God's prized, his humans, his we are greater. We are in His image. We are in God's. We are in their image. And we are like the number ones. We are like the top dogs. Like we're not supposed to be any other being higher than us. Okay, we are the highest of the high, right? When it comes in terms of what we can do, spiritually, and like with what our powers and potential can be. Like we are not living in our potential at all. Like our what we will be able to do is gonna blow you away once you realize, and once you and then so and we gotta learn this now, because then we're gonna live in another existence where like you'll be able to really actually live the way you're meant to be live the way you're meant to live, and do the work you're meant to do. We've been lied to manipulated for too long, and they've held us down, and they've won. They've been the winners, but not no more. It's finally come to an end. They finally enough time to come by. Finally, we've learned the lessons we need to learn. We finally made it. Like finally, the good get a victory. It's like we are in a battle. There's a heavenly war going on. Okay, and it's not just it's all religions talk about it, right? And so, and it's the war between good and evil. It's not only fought in this life; it's fought in every life. Okay, there's a war from like light and dark. And think about it. You got the sun. It's like night and day. Okay, the two cannot go together. You either got one or the other. Okay, and they are at odds. They do not blend. You cannot have one without the other though either. You got to have both. Okay. So like it's just the way it is. That's the point of life. It's the battle against good and evil. Are you going to stand true to who you are, to your love and your light, or are you going to conform to this world? Are you going to conform to the hate and the evil that they want you to conform to? It's all our choice. It's all our choice. It's all our free will. And we've been and they used our free will to enslave us. Like we just go right along with it. Okay, and so we don't have to. We don't have to no more. It's enough of us wake up, stand up to it. That's what needs to take. That's what's got to take. Okay, is we got to stand up to it, and we got to take our lives back. Okay. But yeah, so like that's what's gonna happen. It's like so they know that if they lie to us, manipulate us, they can get us to not be able to ascend, and it'd be another failed experiment. It would be another failed experiment, failed attempt. But it just ain't happening. No, 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 not this time, not this time, because too many of us, God's got too many beings. He knows His love and His light. He knows who He's made. He knows the ones that are His children, which we're all His children. But like it's some are more are some understand and recognize their divineness, their divinity more than others. So they get to walk in it more, and He knows who they are, and He knows that He's got a winning team this time, right? He's got a winning team. Like I know, like something that's in my heart that's always told me, like no matter who breaks your heart, no matter how many times you get hurt in a relationship, you will never close your heart off. You will never get bitter. You will never harbor that hate. Right? And it's something I've always valued myself. Something inside of me that just I will not let nothing turn me. Nothing, and I've been done wrong. I've been done dirty. I've been shitted on. Like so many of us have. Like it's just what life seems to be about. Just getting shit on, right? But something inside of me tells myself, I will not turn bitter. I will not that means that I need to take that out on the next person I'm with. You know, and there's times that I have messed up. I've fallen back, and I've let the world turn me into it. Turn like the world has rubbed off on me to where like I was not being cool to Jessica. You know, I did her wrong at first. I wasn't as honest with her as she would have liked me to been. You know, I told her I wanted a relationship and wanted to be this and that and stuff, but at the same time, I'm still messing with, around. I did, with my ex, and then my other ex, I messed around with one time, and, I didn't tell her these things, and I made it seem like it was all about her. Whenever I wasn't just all about her, I was about her and like obviously, two others, and and yeah, and it just wasn't cool. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair of me to do that at all, But I didn't. When I and see, I was like, well, yeah, obviously, I'm not gonna find no one, in life that's worth loving, that's worth being 100 for, because no one can give me 100. If no one can give me 100, if as much as like I've been there for these other women and been a father to their kids and did my damnedest, and as awesome of a job as I did, and as close as I've got to some of these kids and for the love that I've received from these kids and got back from them because of the love I showed them, it speaks for itself. My bond that I had, my relationship that I've had with these children, it is more so than one between an actual father and a child. It's crazy. It's just it's to me it's a gift that I got from God. Because I've never seen anything like it, and no one else has ever seen anything like it too. Whenever it happened, whenever they experience it with me, and it's really cool. And so like if I can do this and do all that, and still I don't get appreciated, respected, and given the love that I deserve, I got to where I was like, man, well then screw it. Then I'm just gonna do me, and what makes me happy, and that was getting my cake and eating it too, and the ice cream and the freaking gummy bear bowl, like I don't know, but I just wanted it all, and that was evil of me, that was wrong of me, and that was the world, it won right there, it won right there, and if not for Jessica, if not for her and her love, and because I wasn't that person, I was that person, but that's not who I was, and that's not how I started out. I started out good, loving, very virtuous person that did people right, did not lie to them like that, did not do things behind their back, and then all of a sudden, I let life turn me into that when I meet someone that's actually worth being 100 for. So I give these other people 100 that didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't worth it, but I did it for them, just for me to turn around and then not give that to Jessica whenever that's all that she's given me is 100 and it's so amazing, like it wasn't cool. But so I may not harbor the hate and may not let it turn me, bitter and cut off my heart. But it made it to where my heart was ugly though. It was scarred, damaged, and I did not give the love that was deserved to someone else. Okay, so that's to me, I messed up. I failed right there. But if it wasn't for her, like she saved me. She saved me. She helped remind me who I am, and that I'm not this evil, horrible person that does these horrible things. That and she's seen the good in me. She's seen and could tell that I am this good person that I claim to be. That I am this loving person that I claim to be, and that I do want these things that I claim to want. But at that time, no, I was, I'd been done wrong by my ex, by my wife, my ex soon to be ex-wife, and by my relationship before her, which was not that far in between, and done very wrong, and by both of them, and so I shouldn't have even got a relationship, I shouldn't have even gotten one, shouldn't have even been looking for one, but man, like, and especially at the expense of Jessica's heart, and what she's been through, was not cool at all. but man, God has a reason for everything, and He saved me through her, helped get me back on the right path, of who I am, because I was close to losing it, and but so the point of all that, is to say, so these beings aren't gonna be able to ascend, right? And if we want to be able to ascend, we want to be able to ascend and be able to experience, because that's what's going to happen. Is the sun's going to do its thing, and then this world's not going to be habitable for third density living anymore. It's just going to be 5D and up, right? So, and I experienced that, what that's going to look like. I experienced how that's going to take place, and it's nothing to fear at all. It happens like that, and then all of a sudden, bam! It happens so quick, and then when you get to heaven, like when you feel that next life, it's amazing. It is like straight. It's like it's amazing, pure ecstasy, pure total ecstasy. Um, Literally, like if you've ever done the drug ecstasy, like literally, just like that, but not the drug, not the not it's pure, pure. It's the divine, the actual natural chemical in your brain that gets released when you take the drug. Okay, well, this is no drug involved. This is just from it's just and then get to, but we'll get to feel it though, not part of this body. We get to feel it through our spirit. Like man, like I don't even know. I don't know what that's like yet. I didn't get to feel it that way. I was still in my body, but like it's amazing. And so it happens. You go through it, and it didn't hurt at all. It did not hurt, not even a little bit. And and then you're there. You're there. My body was freaking out like it was in pain. My body felt a lot of pain. Like the flesh, it felt it big bad, like it was screaming. It was screaming like crazy. Like it was intense. It was a trip, right? But I didn't feel it though. I did not feel it at all. And then boom, there I was trying. All of a sudden, I'm talking to Jesus in my car. Like and I'm just freaking out. Time nearly froze. Like I'm stuck at this light for 10 minutes, and I'm looking around me, and the time froze. The people, I mean, everything was frozen. Like what the like it was such an experience, and I wasn't on no drugs. No freaking no, I wasn't anything like that. God showed me the end. He showed me the end. He showed me what's gonna happen, and what it's gonna look like, and how quick and easy it's gonna be, and it's gonna happen like that. And it was just one morning, or like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was just all of a sudden I'm at this light, and then just like the sky opened up, and whatever happened, I don't know, but I went black. I was just seeing black, and this all I know was that my body was just riled and rather, and just the sun. The sun, it did its thing, right? And so that's what we have to look forward to, and it's not scary, and it's the transition. That's how that's what's gonna be like what they're talking about the ascension and all that stuff. Yeah, we're going through it right now, and so our bodies are getting ready for like what's about to happen because it's gonna get is yeah, and so like I happened to have me at the beginning of this year, okay, and so I think it's gonna happen for real for all of us for everybody next year, and um yeah, supposedly though like things are supposed to be still going on for like the next 4 or 5 years talking about I don't know, maybe so, or maybe like when this happens next year, beginning of next year, that's what I believe is gonna happen. Maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe some people stay, some people go. I don't know. Maybe that's what this coronavirus thing. Maybe this virus is not bad at all, and it's good, and it's what's going to be able to where when the sun does its thing, like our DNA code is written good enough now or written correctly now that it doesn't just kill us, doesn't destroy us. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know yet, but I know that if you I know that if you've not learned what you need to learn, if you did not do what you contracted yourself to do in this life, then you'll have to go live another life, and it won't be able to be on Earth. You have to be on another planet, another Earth-like planet. and that's okay. There's no one chance. There's no one time and you're out. We get many chances. And um, I really feel like I'm on my last life. That I've learned things I've came to learn, and I've loved as much as I can love. I've given the most for people. I have gone above and beyond, out of my way for everybody, anybody that I can, and I'm never short of showing someone love and compassion. And if I'm in your life, I want to be in your life to make you better, not to bring you down and make you worse. You know, and I've done my best to stay true to that. Am I short sometimes? Do I fall short? Do I sometimes make choices and decisions that are not in my best interest, and for the best interest of those around me? Sure, of course, but my heart is always in the right place. My good intentions are the pathway to hell. Okay, sure, maybe so, but there's still good intentions. Like what I mean for good, Satan tries to take and turn it bad, right? And that's how it's always been. It's always, or the evil, the darkness. Okay, but what I mean for good, the Lord knows. The Lord knows our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be justified through Him. He is our Redeemer for sure. So, we've been enslaved for way too long, and they're not going to be able to enslave us no more. And so, it's about to start, a new existence, a new reality. It's going to be 5D, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so cool, and that's just, and because of the experience that I had, and what the transition is going to look like, how I've never that it was so it really I actually went through and experienced it, and then I went backwards in time, right? So it hasn't happened yet, but it already happened. It's happened, I guess, and I remember because it was meant for me. God, I did the things I needed to do. I learned what I needed to learn, and I got to a point in my life spiritually that I was so in tune and in connection with God that okay, and it was revealed to me, uh, but and just because he was pleased with me. He was pleased with me, and so that's what he gave me. That was what he gave me to be able to do is to share with y'all. That this is my task, my mission. Whether you believe me or not, it doesn't matter because it's not for me to make you believe me or to convince you. It's just for me to relay to you what happened because I love and care about everybody, about all of God's children, which is each and every one of us, and all I want is just for everyone to know that they're okay and there's nothing to fear, and just to forgive yourself for any and everything, and forgive others for any and everything, because you cannot take this too seriously, because we came here to learn. So the things that we did, that hurt somebody, you wrote it in your chart to do on purpose because it's so that way else you wouldn't learn. You would not. That's how you were able to grow and transform and become a better person, is through the pain and the suffering. Like when you're done wrong, what does that do? It hurts you. It makes you realize, hey, I don't like being feeling that way, so I'm not gonna make someone else feel that way. So I see now that whenever I do this to people that just got done to me, if that's how I'm making people feel, I'm not gonna do that no more. Like, so there's a lesson learned. Hey, okay, you just grew a little bit better. You just grew a little bit more Christ-like. Okay, you just grew just a little bit more better in the image of God. Okay, and so that's the point right there. Okay, and so whenever you're like, so you're not gonna forgive somebody because how dare them do it to me? How dare them like, whoa, wait a minute, well, why can't you forgive them? Why can't you? Why can't you? Like, why is it like it is like what is so special about you? Okay, what is so that you are beyond learning something as valuable as, hey, the pain they cause? Like, man, maybe that's an indicator showing that you need forgiveness in your heart. Maybe that's an indicator showing that there's a certain kind of people that you don't need to be having in your life that are just no good. that are only gonna hurt you. You know, like some people get done wrong by people and they keep them around. They just get shitted on and get shitted on, but they keep them around because that I love them and they're gonna change. I know they'll change. And they don't ever change. And so you get shitted on. They're not learning what they're meant to be learning. It goes both ways. You either need forgiveness or or you need some assertiveness. You need some a love for yourself. But so like is we charted the things in things in life that causes pain and hurt. It's all we all chose it. We all chose and accepted it all. Okay, and there's parts in our lives that are up for whatever. Like like there's parts that we know exactly what's gonna happen because we wrote it in there. Like, hey, this is I want to learn this, and I want to learn that, and learn this, and then this part for this year, I'm gonna leave it up in the air. I'm just gonna whatever goes goes. There's parts that yeah you're in unknown territory, unknown waters. You know and and who knows what could happen. I mean, it's some very traumatic things. Some very amazing things. That's the beauty of life, though. Is that we had the veil, so we don't remember any of this. Okay, we just live in life like it's our only life, like there's nothing else. We don't get to like there's no guarantee like hey like this like there's God for sure and that there's a heaven for sure and that you're a spiritual being for sure. Like nothing is there to sit there and do it for you. Nothing's gonna hold your hand. And God's not gonna sit here and make it easy. Okay, like he makes it to where he like authentic. He wants the authentic. He wants the real. He wants the ones that got their blood, sweat, and tears in this thing. And for him, like I love God very much, and I want to do whatever He wants to cause me to do. That's why I do these videos, because I love God very much, and I love y'all very much, and I want to see, I want as many of my fellow brothers and sisters in the Lord with me, when I get there, when I get to the next, side, I want more of y'all with me than not with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd much rather have as all of y'all, each and every single one of you. No one should have to come live another life, and suffer anymore. Like hopefully they're suffering. Hopefully everyone's suffering has been enough, and they don't want to suffer no more. They don't need to suffer no more. That now they can do their next density work and liberate people from their suffering. Like that is what like that's just the payoff is amazing. And like yeah, like where I think yeah, I think we're meant to be the liberator, the saviors of the universe. You know, um, and that's the whole point of life. That's the whole point of existence. Light and dark. We are the shadow universe. The real universe, the real existence is the next life, 5D. Okay. Well, in the case, so like we got right now, and then we got the spiritual part, which is our heavenly host, which is their fourth dimension, right? Okay, so this 5 dimension, like I don't even know what that's gonna be like. Ooh, and then it's gonna be amazing, and then that's what's going to be here. It's going to be 5D, right? So, but it's not going to be hospitable for third dimensional beings anymore. So that's what's going on. That's what's taking place, and that's why all these changes are happening. And that's why, I guess, I don't know, if what's going to happen is these bodies are gonna perish, and then we're going to have fifth dimensional bodies, and bodies made new, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so amazing, and that's how it was revealed to me, and uh, and that's what God told me is gonna happen. He showed me it, and told me that this is what's gonna happen, and for me to wake people up. Time to let people know, but get out there, you know, get out there, son. Tell them what I'm telling you to tell them, and so that's my and it's for me. It's my experience, my strength, and my hope. And so that's what I do every day. I get on here almost every day, and me and Jess we do our devotions on here, and I am, telling y'all about, my crazy experience, that I had at the ascension, of the transition of what that's gonna be like, and it's nothing to fear at all, nothing I don't fear, and so that's a lot of people, They're saying they don't know what it's going to be like, or that the ascension is happening now, and that it's not just going to be a single, not just going to happen, in a split second. It's both. It's both are correct. Okay, it's like we're ascending now, or going through the ascension now, which is all the karmic lessons being learned. It's all everything finally coming to a head, right? It's the growing pains we're going through, right? Finishing, learning everything we need to learn, everything that's meant to learn that we came here to learn. Learn it now. It's all happening right now. It's all happening so fast because then it's gonna go. And then it will happen in that split second. You know. And so I think people are confused because like it was supposed to already happen, right? Supposed to already have the one that happens in a split second, but it hasn't happened yet. So people are like, well, maybe it's not gonna happen that way at all, but it is. Trust me, it is. Um, and yeah, and to know that God is victorious. That like the dark may have been victorious, for so long, but it's not to remain that way. And then so in God has have a bias towards love and light, so like those of us that chose to wait, I'm doing my podcast, um but yeah, so yeah, sorry, excuse me, um uh, lost my train of thought right there. I hate when that happens. Okay, um, but yeah, so we got the bias towards love and light, so like so those of us that decided to wait, so of course the people that the dark entities, dark beings, they came here, acquired their wealth and their power, those were the draconians, those were the reptilians, okay, now us people, we we obviously we waited. We didn't jump into life too quick. You know, don't be deceived or fooled, or don't be hardened by this world. Don't be hardened by the reptilians. Like they're the ones that they're trying to turn you into what they are. They're trying to turn you and keep you with them because they don't get to ascend. They don't get to go where we're going. Okay, and sure that makes them mad, really angry, but they don't care because they're not giving up. They're not going to give certain things up. They don't care about the love of the light. They want to keep oppressing the universe. They want to keep oppressing other beings. And so okay, well, and so they're going to be our foe. Those are our natural enemies. Okay, but what do you do to an enemy? You send them your love and your light. Okay, Jesus taught us, that like you do not, like you don't fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't. You fight fire with love. Okay? Like whenever you have an enemy, you show them love. You give them love. You give them compassion, no matter what. Because the darkness cannot stand in the light. It just can't. Okay? So, like so whenever you got a dark entity around you, dark being around you, plaguing you, haunting you, taunting you, you just send it your love. Realize that it's there because you wrote it in your contract. You wrote it in there for you to experience that, for you to be able to learn what you need to learn, which that is to not fear these dark entities, these dark beings, these malicious, malevolent presences. They are is for you to grow, to realize that there's nothing to fear, that you are a eternal being, a divine being of God, okay, and that this has no power over you, in Jesus Christ's name or not, it doesn't matter, because it's this whole like you got to Jesus. We have our own divine individual power. We have the power ourselves. We have the divine right and might ourselves to expel any evil dark entity being. Okay, it has to leave. If you're a being of light and you're walking in your power and you tell it to leave your presence, to leave your establishment, it's got to go. you know. And there's other things you can do as well. But yeah, man, I mean, we're able to walk into our power and like who we're meant to be and what we're meant to be. Like, I just can't wait to see what that looks like. It's kind of sad that we don't get to do it in these bodies, but I don't think these bodies were meant for that kind of living. And this is the stage we're living. This is the stage set up for us to. We had to learn to be oppressed. We had to know what it was like to be on the losing side of things, to be able to handle the winning side, okay? Because look, they came into life first, okay? They wanted to be, they wanted to have it all first, all the wealth, all the, they wanted the most, right? At the price of their soul, basically, they given up their right to the kingdom, okay? For the wealth, it's for monetary gains, for the fleshly desires. So that's all that they get. They get the best of the best when they're in life. They rise to the top, right? Um, and then God's children, seem to be the lowest of the low, the poor. Why? Because we realize, we know that um our our devotion, our loyalty lies with God and with God alone, and that's to God up above, and that's God by my fellow brother and sister, man and woman. Um, so that's where my devotion and loyalty lies, not to this world, not to society, not to this system of money, not to any of that, and so that's why God in the Bible tells you, like as much as the Bible has been, as they've lied to us in the Bible and manipulated us with the Word of God. At the same time, there's lots of truth in there as well, and it's all we got. It's the only thing we got. That if any of anything, of knowledge about who God is, right? But it is so much more than that. Like there's so much more. Like I was talking about, the divine, uh, 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 uh feminine, as the mother God, and then the divine masculine, father God, right? And it's not just that, but and then there's like what we can do. There's things that like how like we're all psychic. We all have we're all able to be clairvoyant and clairaudient and all those whatever I can't pronounce some of them right, but um we all have have one of those gifts, one of those abilities. We all have those abilities in one form, fashion, or another. Like where one person might be able to they can see into, people might be able to see ghosts or spirits or see an event, or whatever, or see whatever. Other people might be able to hear it. Like other people can hear it, the spirit realm. Um, Others can see it. Others can be able to touch something and see visions. Like there's all kinds of different spiritual psychic powers. And the psychic abilities are spiritual gifts. Those are our spiritual abilities. Given to us by God. And it's just we've been lied to and suppressed so that we don't get to know this. We don't get to experience it. And what's happening is that people are experiencing it. People are waking up to it. People are, they are walking in their true identity. They did not let this world lie to them. They did not believe the lies of this world. Okay, and they stay true to themselves in their hearts and the beings that they are. Okay, and they get to manifest their psychic abilities. Okay, and just do not let them. I just don't. I just hate how when it's used to gain money, when they use their gifts and abilities, and but we get people got to survive. They got to make a living, right? And so what am I to say? I mean, we're having a hard time surviving right now. I could use the money, big time, big time. And and I know when I had that experience, my psychic abilities were really kicked on. Like I download knowledge, a few times into me. A bunch of information got downloaded into me, about stuff that I know now, and then being able to like ask what my name was, and I was able to hear, God talk to me and stuff, like literally, so it's just so to know that like, whoa, wait, I am psychic, but I'm not psychic all the time. Like it just happened, at this moment in time, and long enough for me to experience what I experienced, and then it went away, and so what I need to learn is how to turn it on and keep it on, you know, um, is what I need to learn, right? But um, it's just kind of sad, that we don't get to. It's sad that we've let these people be in control for so long that we don't get to experience, life as the beings are meant to be. But we will, though. We will get to. We will get to. We will have our day, and that's what's so beautiful. And if it's not in this life, it will be in the next, and that I guarantee you, that I can assure you, and nothing to fear. Your family. I mean, think about how big your family is. Like you got your family here with you now, right? But think about all the lives that you lived, how big your family is. So, like, yeah, whenever you say that, like there's a party going on in heaven for every person that, like we say, like if someone's saved, okay, it's not about being, like, yeah, whenever some people don't know God or believe in God, right? And so when they find out about God and they choose to believe, you best believe that, your family's, getting excited, your whole family up there, everyone that you're related to, you know, and then like thinking about like really, there really is everybody is your brother and sister, like for real though, like everybody. So then it's like it's kind of weird then, like so like because if I have these other lives and I've had children in them lives, and then now I got my children out there and I'm living life right now, how many of these people am I actually that I actually helped create? And so like we are all like we so that's crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. But it's okay. Like we are in these bodies, so it's not incest or weird like that, but it's just so cool. Just so cool it all worked out in that the evil that's in place, they know that they're not gonna win this time. Okay, like it's written. Okay, God wins, but what they can do is that they're gonna milk us for as much as they can. Like they know the ship's going down, but what they can do is get us for as much money, as much wealth, as much of knowledge. All right, hold on. I'll be right back.